Spoiler warning, go watch part 1 of the first 10 picks.
Hey, what's going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to be finishing the entire mock draft. So, before we begin, if you guys can go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, maybe leave me a like. It's greatly appreciated because I did take 3 hours to make this research, grab wingspan, height, as you see down here on the board. If you see all this down here, it took a lot to make all this. So, yeah, please leave me a like. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, with the 11th pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the Chicago Bulls select Jacoby Walter from Baylor. So Jacoby is 6'5", he weighs about 185 pounds, and we don't really know a lot of these players' wingspans, considering that they just got into college. You know, we're not going to know all that stuff. But to talk about Jacoby Walter, he is pretty much a high-scoring guard, and he has very big talent, and overall he has a ton of athleticism that you could see in his playing, and he can really shoot the three. So that's why I believe he would be a great fit for the Bulls, especially with a few moves that the Bulls are going to be pulling this offseason. I especially see them doing this maybe in next offseason. So with the 12th pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the Portland Trailblazers select Ade Mara, Spain. So Ade Mara is 7'3", 233 pounds, and we don't really know his wingspan, but there's rumors that he's going to be heading to UCLA. He has really good development that you could quickly see, and especially his passing. He's more of an interior scorer and defender, and you can catch a lot of his impact on the game. You will see it, and it's really good. If he ends up committing to UCLA, we will see a lot coming out of him in the NCAA. So with the 13th pick, the Atlanta Hawks select Bobby Klintman from Cares and MBL in Sweden. He's a power forward. So Bobby Klintman is 6'10", and he weighs 225 pounds. We don't really know his wingspan with a lot of these players, but you got to realize he was supposed to go in the 2023 draft, but he is heading into the NBA in the 2024 draft, and he's looking to put his stock up, and obviously it's very much lifting, and he has a really mobile stand on offense, and he has a really big upside in terms of his playing on defense, and he has a really nice looking jump shot that you could really get behind. That's great for the Hawks, a great shooting team that I believe he will be building and built around. So with the 14th pick, the Toronto Raptors select Jared McCain, the point guard from Duke. So with Jared McCain being 6'3", 195 pounds, of course we don't really know his wingspan, but he is a great shooting combo guard. You can see his game is really smooth, and overall he doesn't really have like that athleticism in him, but he really has a ton of skill that you can get behind. And I feel like the Toronto Raptors, when Fred VanVleet leaves, he's probably going to be the best option. And moving into the 15th pick, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Cody Williams from Colorado. Alright, so Cody Williams is 6'8" and weighs 180 pounds. Obviously, we don't know his wingspan, but he is a really tall and lengthy guy. He can play guard, forward, and overall he can have great handling ability with the ball. And he is a really great playmaker, which fits this Timberwolves team perfectly, who's building around tons of playmakers. And with the next pick, the New York Knicks select. Alright, so Adem Bona is 6'10", 235, and reason why I picked him over a better power forward, because the New York Knicks really need a power forward. They have currently Obi Toppin and Isaiah Roby, who aren't really as productive coming off the bench behind Julius Randle. So I see if they pick up a player who can play the power forward position, such as Adem Bona. Adem Bona is such a quick and explosive athlete, man. He has great open court speed, which you can see in a power forward. a really dominant strength guy, and you could have that at your power forward or center position, and he will fill it well. Especially since Harvey Weinstein is their, not Harvey, I'm sorry, Isaiah Hartenstein. Sorry, I had to look it up, but he is a great finisher at the rim, and I can talk about this guy all day. But we're gonna move on. So with the 17th pick, the Sacramento Kings select Stephon Castle from UConn. Alright, so Stephon Castle is 6'7", 190 pounds. We don't have a wingspan, but Stephon Castle from UConn is a great guard and wing type player. You could definitely get the ball where you want to with Stephon. He can play the ball, pretty much get any shot he wants. He's a big time talent if he comes through on a good team, which I think the Kings will definitely utilize his talents, and he could be a very great guard and forward for the Kings. So with the 18th pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the New Orleans Pelicans select Thierry Darien from the G League Ignite. So Thierry Darien, he's a 6'6", 185 pound with a 7'1" vertical. So he's basically a big guard and wing player, and basically he has that natural ability to just make plays and take the right shot when he needs to. Basically one of the best IQs in this draft. He makes the game look easy overall, and obviously his rank fell a little bit because he was recovering from an ankle injury, but other than that, he's probably one of the best players in this draft. But with the 19th pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the Dallas Mavericks select Donovan Clingan from UConn. So I got a comment about Donovan Clingan. I don't know if any of you saw it, but Donovan Clingan, definitely a top 10 player in this draft. It's just the way that the list, the way that the odds ran out. I didn't really get a team where I thought he would fit. But let me talk about Donovan. Basically, Donovan is 7'2", 260, and he's a big dude, man. He can defend the ball well. He can defend it in the paint. Basically, has a really good shot and a terrible sense of mobility. But that doesn't excuse the absolute monster of a man he is. So, with the 20th pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Eisen Alsmensa from the G League Ignite in Spain. So, where do I even get started with Eisman, dude? He is 6'10", 211 pounds, an absolute dominant man on the interior. He has range, and his offensive game is very bright in today's future in the NBA, and how big guards are able to move more and have more mobility in the NBA. And I feel like the Cleveland Cavaliers got to steal with this player, and especially his high energy and a very big productive guy. I definitely can see him doing really good for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So with the 21st pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the Memphis Grizzlies select Mackenzie Mbako from Indiana in Nigeria. You know I love the foreign prospects, but Mackenzie Mbako from Nigeria and going to Indiana. He's 6'8", 215 with a 6'10 wingspan. He's a very good shooting wing. He plays a very dangerous game from the three-point land. He was going to commit to Duke, but he ended up going to Indiana. So that's about it for Mackenzie. But going to the Clippers, who have the 22nd pick, and with the 22nd pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the Los Angeles Clippers select Trayvon Brazile from Arkansas. So this is a very good pick for the Clippers because you got to think Nicholas Batum and Robert Covington are all, I think, 34 and 32 years of age. They're not, young anymore, and they're not going to be good for very long. And getting a very good player, especially out of Trayvon Brazile, obviously he had an ACL tear, but once he's back into form, he's a very bouncy guy. You can get him a nice three-point shot. You have a very uphill athlete. You won't get anything better than Trevon Brazile out of Arkansas to the Clippers. So with the 23rd pick, this Philadelphia 76ers select Trey Alexander from Creighton. So this is overall more of a depth pick because the 76ers don't really have that much of a point guard depth, with Tyrese Maxey being one of their only point guards. But you got to think Trey Alexander is 6'3.5" and 184 pounds with a 6'10" vertical. So basically, he's a well-built guard. He has a mid-range game, and basically, he's not that fast, but he has an ideal frame that could really be worked on. If he can improve his speed, he could be probably one of the better guards for the Philadelphia 76ers next year. So, with the 24th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Miami Heat select Riley Kugel from Florida. All right, so Riley Kugel is in a very interesting situation in Miami. So Miami is possibly not going to re-sign Kyle Lowry. Victor Oladipo has been in a ton of trade rumors. Dame might end up leaving Portland because of Scoot Henderson. But the reason I think this is probably the best fit for him is because he's a very crafty and long guard that you could definitely put over Victor Oladipo if you do trade him, and he could be a long-time asset for a championship run, which I 100% support. And with the 25th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Los Angeles Lakers select Khalil Ware from Indiana. Okay, so Khalil Ware in Los Angeles is a very interesting and a very good fit. So recently they selected Jalen Hood-Schifino and I think another guy. I'm not sure what his name is, but Jalen Hood-Schifino is a very good guard. I was considering giving them a point guard, but I was like D'Angelo Russell and Dennis Schroeder. I don't know if Dennis Schroeder will be traded or maybe not re-signed. I don't know. But Khalil Ware is a great fit for this team. You have Mo Bamba, Khalil Ware. There's a power forward that someone plays it, but Anthony Davis won't play the center position. So you could definitely have that depth there, and that's a very good pick for the Lakers. So with the 26th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Golden State Warriors select Mark Mitchell from Duke. Okay, so this pick is a very, very confusing one, but basically if Draymond Green decides to not re-sign with the Warriors, obviously he declined his player option. This is just a safe pick if they were to have this in the 2024, not knowing what happens if maybe Draymond gets like a 2-year deal, something ahead, just in case he leaves in the future. If you do re-sign him, or in the case that he leaves, this is just a depth thing, so you have power forward, Mart. Definitely a good pickup for the Warriors, and this guy's really good. So with the 27th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Phoenix Suns select Elmarko Jackson from Kansas. So this is basically a no-brainer why the Suns would need definitely another point guard. So Elmarko Jackson is a very good guard. He stands at about 6'3", 185 pounds. He's a very, very powerful point guard with acceleration and athleticism, and he is still developing as a floor guard, as a floor general, and 100% on the teams of veterans such as Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker. I wish Chris Paul would have stayed because this would have been a great match in heaven for mentorship, but this is definitely going to be a great team of veterans, and if the right veterans can point him in the right direction to develop as a floor general, I definitely think he could be a better fit over Cameron Payne. So with the 28th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Milwaukee Bucks select Kwame Evans Jr. from Oregon. All right, so with Chris Middleton being injury prone a lot, and Giannis obviously having a few injuries with his time, and Giannis being the backup small forward, I think taking it safe and taking a small forward in such as Kwame Evans Jr., who can learn behind Chris Middleton. He is a jumbo wing with great length and a ton of mobility, and he can really hit the three-point shot when you need him to, and I feel like that's why he would be a great fit for Milwaukee. He can grow up behind Chris Middleton if he ever gets injured and be the backup and actually fill in that role. So with the 29th pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Denver Nuggets select Omaha Ballou from Iowa State and Link Academy. So the Denver Nuggets are not a very depth-needing team, but I feel like Omaha Blue is such a strong guard, an athlete who can power wings and blow by bigs. Okay, so obviously they have Bruce Brown, and I feel like he could really play the power forward position and learn behind Aaron Gordon, get his defense up, and could really improve from where he starts as a rookie and where you see him in a few years. So that's where I have Omaha Ballou from Iowa State going. So with the 30th pick and final pick in this 2024 NBA draft, the Boston Celtics select Xavier Booker from Michigan State. Okay, so with Xavier Booker being a very 6'11 mobile guard who's basically shows very good flashes of talent, with Grant Williams not really being accepting his option as he's a restricted free agent, it would probably be very good for them to pick up something of depth if he did not sign back, because you have Al Horford and Robert Williams, but he can play that forward behind Blake Griffin if Grant Williams does not sign back, which would be a very great player to pick up here. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys want more, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, as it really does help. And I'll see you guys in the next one.